Okay, I'm back. And I guess I will try to stitch these two videos together so it's just one session of this therapeutic journaling. So this is mostly dry. It's a little bit damp. I had some things glued on the back of this I had to re-glue down because I got it a little too wet. But I'm going to move on to the next step, which I thought was going to be to glue down the basement. But I think this is kind of not what I envisioned it would be, this background, the cheesecloth, and a lot of the texture I put down, I don't think it's coming through. It may when I get that basement down, but I want to do a little bit more before I glue that down. So I'm going to add a stencil just to define, like maybe this is the background and I want something in the foreground. Now this stencil is either wisteria or grapevine, but I'm going to use it just to give the illusion of blackberries. So, oh boy, let's see if this will work. I usually get a paper plate, but I forgot to grab one. So this is some acrylic paint in violet. I'm just going to put some in this little cup. And I'm going to stencil. Hopefully this shows up. Just kind of pouncing that on here. Okay. Let's get a little more. Not sure how it's going to show up on top of the alcohol inks and the cheesecloth, but I have high hopes. We shall see. I'll do the big reveal here. Okay, that defines it a little bit better for me. So now I want to do it, let's see, a couple more times. Maybe about right here. Yep. I better get some more paint. All right. This was a gift. I got a set of little bitty tubes of acrylic paint. So it's the first time I've broken into it. I'm glad to use it up. Okay, let's do this. I think some of this is supposed to be leaves, but I'm not going to put the leaves in. I just want another layer. Whoa, another layer down on the background to make it stand out for me. Okay. Let me see. This popped way over here. I'm going to try to get some more paint out of that. I think that'll just do it for me. Okay, let's see. Okay, I like that a lot better. I like that a lot better. But now you know what this means. I have to break out my heat gun one more time. I'm trying to save my stencil brush. Oh, and my headphones popped back out. Oh, I can't get them back in with one hand. All right, you're just going to have to see it for a few minutes. And I'll hopefully save my stencil brush. I'm trying to clean it on a baby wipe off camera right now, just to save it from drying. I think I'll just wrap it in the baby wipe until I can clean it. And now I need something for my hands. Okay, that's fun. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, one more time with the heat gun. I think I knocked you a couple of times, sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside to dry a little bit, but that gives it some depth. And so the alcohol ink is kind of in the background and the stencil is in the foreground. And to me, it gives the illusion of blackberries, picking those blackberries in the woods. It was very wooded. I'm surprised I didn't ever come home with poison ivy, because we would literally go in the woods picking these blackberries. I'd have to really do some research to see what time of year we did that, but I imagine it was probably this time of year that we would go picking those blackberries. It's a fun memory. Okay, I'm going to set this aside because I want to work on kind of the next elements. And that would be my cellar. So I'm just going to try to trim this up a little. I'm going to measure it. I want to try to cover up that wine, but I think I'm just going to have to put something over the top of it. I'm measuring over here. So I'm going to cut straight down this way. There. And I still see the wine. Now I've got to match this up and see where I need to cut. I'm going to try to cut it about right here. Actually, let me just measure. I want it to be towards the bottom. So I'm trimming the smaller piece along the end of the book, and then I'll come back and do it here. Okay. Right about here, straight across. I could make an interesting collage. I'm going to put that in my collage basket. I've been having fun with collage. That's kind of fun too. Now, I want to keep this two pieces. I'm not going to tape this together because it's going to go on either side of the book. So if I cut that there, am I going to lose more perspective for what it is? This is still a little damp, but for measuring purposes, I'm just going to see. Wonder if I should have planned it to be along one side. I'm just going to go with my original plan. That way that part that's ripped in the center where I tore it out of the book a little too roughly Okay, so I think this is kind of placement wise. Now the other element that I need to cut out are these blackberries. This is an image of literal blackberries. Probably too big, but let's just see how it shows on the page. I'm just trimming it out in full size for now. All right. I don't want to lose the fact that they're blackberries, sort of wild blackberries. Maybe something like that. And then I'm going to get my smaller scissors. I don't know why my drawer is sticking all of a sudden. I'm going to cut out this jam jar. And there we go. If you've done any canning, you know, these are, you might be able to still get this closure style, but maybe not. So, fun tip, now I think jelly, I'd have to look it up, but I think jelly and jams, they do a water bath. But my grandmother would melt wax. I don't know what this does. I just remember she would melt wax, and after the jelly or jam set, she would pour a layer of wax over the top of it and then seal it up. So let's see. I also have to keep in mind that I want a space for journaling. I think I want the spoon. What do you think? I do want the spoon. I wonder if I can make it look like it's inside the jar somehow. That could be kind of fun. Could be. Round this off a little. Okay. I can kind of just leave it like that, I guess. What else do I have? I'm just putting some elements. I have a picture that I have to try to incorporate. And this is, you know, modern day. Mine do not go in a cellar after I can them. It's something like a pocket. Would that be a fun pocket? I'm just playing around with how I want to place things. And I also need some journaling space. I want this grandma's kitchen. And I don't think I want the rolling pin, although we used to make, we must have been making cookies or something to use the rolling pin, but let's see how, I'm just going to continue to cut this out. I might have to do this. Just kind of weave in and out here. Like this. round it off a little bit. So, like I said earlier, I have a lot of fond memories when it comes to my grandmother. She influenced my life in a lot of ways, in a good way. Even the relationship my grandparents had is, you know, people don't stay together like they did. They waited until after they were well into their careers to get married. They adopted children, so I guess technically I'm not their granddaughter by blood, but still very influential to me. I'm still wondering about this wine, and if I take it off of the edge of the page, do I lose context? I don't think I do. And then, could I make this into a pocket? Probably could. All right. And now for journaling. So before I started recording again, I finished drying and I went through looking for some elements to journal on. This is just, you ever just have supplies that you don't remember where you got them from? But it's just like collage paper. Probably came in a kit or something. And this paper has like grapes and some sort of berry. I can't read the writing on it. But here's some cherries, some florals. This looks like maybe pears or apples. Here's a tangerine. So to me, that's going to fit for a journaling spot. And so I'm just sticking things on at this point to see where they go. So the last thing I thought I would do, or could do, let me see if I have anything off. Yeah, okay. I'm back to this great big piece of paper. And so I wonder, I'm going to set this aside for now. I'm wondering, just thinking out loud, I bumped you again, I'm sorry, if I couldn't make some sort of envelope out of this and then lose the context. And then I get to use, I have an envelope maker. Oh, I am reaching, and that was probably very muffled, I apologize, but I've recently pulled this back out. I had kind of almost given up on it, and then I saw a tutorial by Recreations by Brooke, and I pulled it back out again, and I'm so thankful that she did this tutorial. So I think what we need to do is measure the paper and then go a little bit bigger for the envelope. So this will be the paper I want to put in the envelope. And I wanted to leave it sticking out, but I need the envelope to be this wide at least, and this paper is almost 3.5 inches, so just short of 3.5 inches. So card size, I need to look for 3.5 inches. 3.5 by 3.5, maybe 3.5 by 4. I'm going to measure the book real quick and see what space I have. So it's going to be somewhere down here. So I guess 3.5 would be this way and 4 would be this way. Or I could do 3.5 by 3.5. I think that's the better size for this. So what do I have to do? I have to cut this paper down to, I'm looking, 3.5, 6. I need a 6 by 6 piece of paper. I'm looking for just a scrap paper. So I need oh, come on. There we go. 6 by 6 paper and 3-inch score on a 3-inch. Okay. So I need my paper trimmer because I want this to be pretty precise, which is down here. I need to have a 6 by 6 inch piece of paper. I want to kind of plan this. Let's just see. So let me just cut out the berries. Let's do it this way, because that's what I want this paper for. I don't want the wine glass. I'm just looking for the berries. And I might have to do it from the bottom. Let's see. Okay. I might as well just cut off all the white. My blade feels like it might be getting dull. Okay, so I need 6 by 6. So if I go 6 by, let's see where 6 is, by 6, I'll have that. I think no matter what, I'm going to have the wine glass in the picture. So if that's the case, and I turn this around, I'm thinking out loud. What if I did it this way really quickly? 6 by 6. I still have the stem. Maybe I don't want the stem. 6 by 6. No matter what, I get the stem in it. All right, I'm making too much out of this, so I'm just going to cut it here. I lose the majority of the stem, and then let's see where it goes here. See if I do it the other direction. I think it's not going to matter. No matter what, I get the stem. Okay. That's cool for collage. All right, this is 6 by 6, and this is not enough. Okay. So here's my 6 by 6 paper. Now, I've only done this a couple of times that I was successful. All right. I wish I watched her tutorial again. So the score line is here. Oh. And what did we say the score line was? The 3-inch score line. Score guide. Oh, I put it here. Well, if this messes up, I'll do it. Oh, here's the score line. Is that right? Okay. Punch and score. So now I punch and turn all the way around, I think she said. And do it again on this side. Score. And I'm going very lightly because this is magazine paper, and punch. Now when I do the other sides, I'm supposed to line up the score line edge. So it goes a little bit further in. It goes here, punch, and then see how it doesn't come all the way to the 3. Line up that score line, do another score, and punch. Okay, so I think that's got it. I think, hope. And, oh, look at the back of that. Cute cupcakes. This is an old cookbook that I got this out of. Did I not score that? I did. Let me fold it here. Okay. Here. Here. And here. So here's my envelope. And look at that. You can't even tell that that's a wine glass. So, but I want this to show. So I'm going to make this envelope. Let's look here. I want it to show here like this. So I'm just going to fold it down this way. It's okay. It's fine. I didn't think about this. How about if I take a piece of this and glue it so that it's, yes, that's what I'm going to do. Because I want it to be berries. For sure, that's not wide enough. That is. Okay, I'm going to use this piece. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. And I'm going to glue this. Where is that glue stick? The one I don't like. Ooh-hoo. Ooh-hoo. Glue. I am probably, you're probably laughing at me. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly at all. Okay. There's this. Oh, I have purple paint all over me. And I'm going to use this right here. Then I have to cut it. I'm going to use the smaller scissors. Cut it around. And here. So now I have this. No. This. So I want this to go in here, like that. So this is what we're going to end up with. I'm loving this. So not really. Okay, so that's the tuck. How about that? I love it. Love it, love it. Saving that for collage. Okay. Now it's time to get these elements down. But memory lane is not going to go here. It's going to go here. Okay. Oh, and I forgot I wanted to make this a pocket for my picture. And it's going to go on that side. So that means I need to piece this together a little bit better. And I need a piece of paper, like cardstock or something. Let's see what I have. I'm just grabbing off to my side anything. I don't think the color matters here. I'm just going to glue this down to this. Okay. So if you're watching me, are you doing something of your own in the background? Is it triggering a memory for you of maybe happier times or just fond memories like I have of my grandparents? Like I said, this journal that I'm working in now has been a lot about my grandparents. I've been thinking about them a lot lately. And okay. I don't want the blue to shine, and I'm trying desperately to match this up. But it's going to be just fine. And this will trigger that memory again for me. Just seeing this coming together, it's reminding me of her jelly storage, jam and jelly storage. And it's a happy memory for me. And that's what it's about, is to bring that joy back from old times. For me, anyway. All right, and I just cut this out. Just needed to have a sturdier background because I want to make this into a pocket. For my picture of my jelly, or, well, watermelon preserves, and my fiasco with my new burner. This, I don't think well, maybe I'll stick it in the pocket or staple it to my picture somehow. We'll see how it comes together. Okay. Let's see. Save some of this. This is the fun part. Where do I have to cut this. So I think it's going to be a kind of a corner tuck. I'm going to leave this whole for now because I want to work on this piece, the blackberries. This I know what I'm going to do, and this, I'll work these two pieces together. Okay. Kind of want this way at the top, I think. Or do I want it across? I don't want to lose the blackberries. Oops, that's too far. Okay, and I'll trim that up later. Let me think. Do I want to just use... Thinking. We'll try it this way. I'm using Mod Podge. I don't know how this is going to work, but because it's such a textured background, I think this might be the best bet. Okay. And I had this on an angle, kind of till it fit. Okay. It's not sticking. Oh, because it's dry. Wow. I think I'm making it too thin, trying not to have it show through. That's not working. Well, let's try the ooh-hoo. Maybe that will work. Is that going to stick? Yeah, I think it is. Maybe I'm not going to bring this glue enough credit. What you think? All right. And we'll just go across the top. Too much. I really thought Mod Podge would work. Probably will. Give that a minute. Now I think this was going to be next. So I'll just do this. Ooh, but for placement, I need that knife. Right here. You see the textures coming through on this one. I think I'm going to have to go back through and use the Mod Podge. Okay. Let's get this knife up here. This actually reminds me of her too. There. All right. I'm going to come back over and Mod Podge the whole page, I think, just to make sure things are down pretty good. This seems to be sticking. All right. Let me trim this page off while I'm thinking about it. Okay. All right. Now we said this is going to go down here, right, on the pocket, which will hold my picture. And this is going to go here to hold my journaling. All right, so I think I better Mod Podge the stuff down. Kind of protect it too. Seal it. Hope so. All right. There. Well, let's do this. See, this is popping up right there. It's because of my background, I think, but I can fix this. I can. There. There. I think that's gonna, whoops. Got a spot right up here too. Actually, there's air under that, but it's going to be just fine. I know what I can do. Whoops. There. All right. There's some air under here too. Let's get that. I'm probably, if you're an artist that does this all the time, you're probably cringing, but this is just for my therapy purposes, so as long as it stays down, I'm good. Because the memory, I've already kind of sealed the deal on that, so to speak. I better not do any more because it will start tearing. Okay. Fun, fun, fun. But guess what this means? Okay. Still a little damp right there. I guess I have to glue this envelope together. So all I need is glue here and here. Like right here, and here, and here, and here. I think that's right. Yep. Oh, and these two tips. Okay. This glue dries pretty quickly, but I do want to make sure I can stick my paper in there. I'm wondering if I shouldn't just glue this down or just leave it interactive. I think I'm just going to leave it interactive. And oh, it's just a little too big for that. And I'll do my journaling here. Okay. I'm going to use art glitter glue to see if I can get this to stick down better. Hopefully it'll work a little bit better. This is not wanting to come out. I'm squeezing really hard, which is unusual for this glue. Okay. I probably need to unclog it. Okay. There's that. Let's see. There's dried glue at the tip. Yep. All right, hopefully that's got it. And yeah, that's sticking pretty good. And so I'll do my journaling in here, like that. I do want this down, but that's paper to paper, so I'm just going to use this glue stick. Where did I put it? Ah, here it is. There's that. Really liking it. Now, let's figure out this pocket. I think I'm just going to trim right above that bottle, right above here, to lose the wine. Who's to say what's left is not jelly, right? Oh, and look at that, I have to... Huh, I'm going to trim it even more. I'm going to trim off these wine bottles too. I ended up with less pocket than I thought. Okay. All right. Well, that's her cellar, or her jelly storage. So let's see, I need this and this side. Here. And here. To create that pocket. And honestly, now I actually have 2 journaling spots now. Huh. I'm going to have to cut this apart now because I don't have the room. It's going to hang off the edge. That's all right. Oh, I just don't want to lose the blackberries. I'm thinking out loud. I'm going to trim this up now. Which means I've got to stick it to Mod Podge. I'm going to try it. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Almost needed a little notch to tuck that into. And so I can journal on the back of my photo. Just make sure this is staying down. That's staying down pretty good. I am going to staple this in this corner. Right here. I'll do 3 staples. 2, 3. And I better staple it on this side too. 1, 2. And that'll be the 3rd one. There we go. Oops. Get my picture in there. There's her cellar. That does it for me right here. I like the background. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to Mod Podge this, but for sake of time, I am going to sign off on this and call it done. So maybe you want to start a journal like this. Follow along, because soon I'll be making a new journal, start to finish, a new personal journal, and with the intention of everything inside being blank and just making pages like this. Like this is one. I have plenty in here that I've done off camera. I still have a lot of pages in here I can do. Regardless if there's pages left or not at the end of the year, come January I'm starting a new one, and it will all be more like this therapeutic journaling. So here's my grandma's kitchen. Me and her making jelly. Love it. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're doing some therapeutic journaling of your own. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.